Have you ever thought about going to Bucharest but were not sure what there is to see and if it is worth visiting? Then this video is for you, as I'm going to show you in the following minutes what you can visit in 2 days in Bucharest. Welcome to Unexplored, the channel where I present you lesser visited cities in Eastern Europe and the world. So, without further ado, here are the sites you should definitely not miss on your trip to Bucharest. Starting off in the first day is the Old Town. Bucharest is a relatively young city as it was established in the 15th century, so you won't see any ancient or medieval buildings in the area, which does not make it any less worth seeing, as the Old Town is filled with a multitude of impressive buildings and intricate architectural styles such as Baroque, Neo-Renaissance, Rococo and many others. One such example is the CEC Palace. This impressive building was built in the year 1900 in the French Beaux Arts style and is the headquarters of the Czech Bank. A short walk from the CEC Palace brings you to the Macca-villacrosse Passage. This passage was built in 1891 and was named after the Catalan architect Javier Villacrosse, as he was the chief architect of Bucharest in the mid-19th century. Today this passage leads to the Old Town and is filled with nice bars. In the middle of the Old Town lies the intriguing Stavropoleos Monastery. It is the oldest still standing monastery in Bucharest, as it was built in 1724 and has its 300th anniversary this year. It was built in the Romanian bucuresti style, which is a unique mix between Byzantine, Ottoman and late Renaissance styles. The name Stavropoleos is Greek and means City of the Cross. To visit the monastery is of course free of charge. And now to something completely different, the Cărturești Carusel bookstore. I have added this bookstore in the video as it is one of the most beautiful ones I have ever seen. They have a large selection in books not only in Romanian but also in English and other foreign languages. Going to the southern part of the Old Town you will find Hanul lui Manuk or Manuk's Inn, which is one of the oldest restaurants in Bucharest serving local food since 1808. Next to Manuk's Inn lies the St. Anthony Church, also known as the Biserica Curtea Veche in Romanian, meaning the Church of the Old Princely Court. It is the oldest church in Bucharest, dating to the year 1554, but it burned down during the Great Fire of Bucharest in 1847, and was rebuilt in its current neo-Gothic form in 1849. To visit this impressive church is free of charge. Outside of the Old Town lies the Romanian Athenaeum, which is in my opinion one of the most impressive buildings in Bucharest. This neoclassical building was built in 1888 in order to house concerts, which it still does today, which you can visit if you are interested in. It is also of great historic significance for Romania, as on the 29th of December 1919 a conference was held here which signed the unification of Transylvania, Bucovina and Bessarabia to the Romanian kingdom. I would have liked to show you the interior of the Athenaeum, but unfortunately it was closed during my visit, but I can assure you that inside it is even more beautiful than on the outside, and with its fee of only €2 you should definitely not miss it. Next up is the Royal Palace. The name is a bit misleading, as it indeed used to be the palace where the royal family used to live between 1937 to 1948, but today however the building is used as an arts museum. Depending when you visit, there are different expositions, but generally the museum is divided between a section of European art and one for Romanian art. During my visit I decided to go to the Romanian section, and I did not regret it, as this part of the museum's collection nicely shows the evolution of Romanian art from the late medieval era, which mostly focused on icons and other religious art, to the present day. A couple of minutes from the Royal Palace is the beautiful Crețulescu Church. Just like the Stavropoleos Monastery, it was also built in the Romanian bucuresti style in 1722. It is named after the noble family Crețulescu, whose members ordered its construction. finishing the day with one of the most infamous buildings in Bucharest, the Parliament. If you have watched my video about Warsaw, you will probably remember how locals are divided on the Palace of Culture, and in the case of the Parliament it is no different. Some see it as a great architectural achievement, while others see it as a constant reminder of the repressive communist regime. Be it as it may, it is one of the most impressive buildings in Bucharest, as it is the second largest building in the world after the Pentagon, and no visit to Bucharest is complete without seeing it and taking a guided tour inside of it. As the Parliament building has 1,100 rooms, and the Senate and Chamber of Deputies are seated there, the guided tours of course don't show you the entirety of the building, but only a fraction of it. Inside it you can see a lot of beautifully decorated rooms, and to take part in a guided tour you have to pay around €7, or if you are a student like me you only pay around €3.60. There are still a lot of sites to explore in the second day, so starting off is the Parliament of Justice, or Palatul Justiției in Romanian, which is located on the banks of the Dâmbovița river and opposite to the southern part of the old town. This neoclassical building was erected in 1895 and today still serves the same purpose. The interior of the palace is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful ones in the entire city. Next up is my personal favorite church in Bucharest, the Lady Bălașa Church. The church was named after Lady Bălașa, who was the youngest daughter of the ruling voivode Constantin Brâncoveanu, who ruled Wallachia in the 17th and early 18th century. The church itself stands in its current form since 1885 and is an interesting combination of Neo-Romanesque and Byzantine architectural styles. I like it very much because it is surrounded on all sides by communist blocks and shows you once more the stark contrast that defines Bucharest between the beautiful buildings from the late 19th and 20th centuries and the ugly communist buildings. To visit the church is of course free of charge. Next up is the Ceausescu House. This building was constructed in 1964 and used by Ceausescu's predecessor Gheorghe Gheorghiu. After his death in 1965 and Ceausescu's ascension to power, he and his family lived in this state-sponsored mansion and designed the rooms to their liking. Unfortunately, I cannot show you any footage from inside the house, as filming and taking pictures is strictly forbidden. To visit the house you have to take part in a guided tour that costs €13, which I think is quite pricey, but if you are interested to see how lavish Ceausescu and his family lived, while ordinary people barely had enough to eat, then feel free to visit this place. Just a couple of minutes from the house is the impressive Triumph Arch. Now you see why Bucharest is called Little Paris, or the Paris of the East, as Paris was the role model for the development of Bucharest. The Triumph Arch was built in commemoration of Romania winning the First World War and was finished in its current form in the year 1936. If you had enough of the hustle and bustle of the city, you can enjoy a walk in Bucharest's largest park, King Michael I, or more colloquially known by its former name, Herăstrău Park. This 187 hectares big park was constructed in the year 1936 and is, in my opinion, the most beautiful park in Bucharest, as you can easily spend an entire day here. Finally, we have the Romanian Village Museum. If you have watched my video about Timișoara, you might remember the Banat Village Museum and will probably ask in which way this museum is different and if it is worth visiting. Yes, it is definitely worth visiting as it showcases the typical rural architecture of the entirety of Romania and does not focus on just one region but showcases each region equally in 123 houses. The standard entry fee is €6 while the reduced entry fee is around €1.60, which I think is very affordable and makes it even more worth visiting. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, then please don't forget to subscribe, like and hit the notification bell in order to not miss any of my future videos, and see you next time.